say summer is the time to live in Chicago. Well, that's extended into autumn as we are ready to roll under blue skies at Soldier Field. This was the scene a moment ago as the Bears emerge from their tunnel. Ready for football are they, and ready for football are we as the Bears get set to match up with the San Francisco 49ers. Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. This is Jakeem Grant. And he doesn't even get this to the 10. He's taken down at the 9. And now the 49ers signal for a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First carry for Raheem Mostert. And a short gain here across the 10 to the 12. Give him 3 there on the first play of the game, and it's second down. On the handoff, this is Mostert. And a nice gain there as he'll be taken down just shy of the 20. Give him 7 on the play, and that'll bring up what looks to be a 3rd and inches. Can't be more than a half a foot. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. Defense had a chance to get off the field here in the opening drive, couldn't do it.
I know that we go into these meetings with coaches, and sometimes maybe we can get, a little bit numb because they're always going to talk about how important third down is, aren't they? Offense and defense. In this case, one capitalized, and the other, as you said, had a chance to get off the field and didn't get it done.
Off play action, Fields. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. That catch good for only a couple.
So, Charles, you talk about this offense, this Week 8 of the 2021 campaign. Now, normally this would be the halfway point of the season, but as we all know, this is now a 17-game regular season. And because of that, seems like now maybe more than ever, getting your open week to occur later in the season, that could be a pretty big advantage.
Brandon, it's always been a big advantage, and now, as you pointed out, the possibility of it becoming huge, likely. Most teams want that later open date because of injuries, getting that rest before the playoff push, all of those things. Sometimes when you get an open date early in the season, it's not really much of an advantage. You might be playing well, not slows down your momentum. This is a big deal, and teams definitely like it. The later, the better.
So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Back to the running game with Mostert. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Clock rolling as we hit the midway point of this first quarter.
Check back 27. You can't block me. You can't block me. Hey, alert 3, alert 3. 25, check 25, check 25.
Back to throw, Fields. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 36. And a return across midfield and to the 46-yard line. Remember, Charles, this is the #1 defense in the NFL, and they proved their mettle here, forcing the turnover on the opening possession.
And sometimes when you play a team that has that reputation, it's earned it by their play. The psychology is, okay, they're #1. They have to prove it to us, and they tried to attack. They found out that that ranking was real.
And if history is any indication, when this defense gets off to a good start, look out.
Yeah, their offense plays off of them awfully well, too.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Well, this club, there were some reports earlier in the week, and most have heard this by now, the so-called unnamed sources that were saying all is not rosy in that locker room. There's whispers that 1 or 2 guys, CD, have kind of had enough of how things are going and have been going. How would you handle that as a coach?
Well, you and I both know all the coaches that we've dealt with and come in contact with. They'd love to get their hands on those unnamed sources, wouldn't they? But they know that that's not possible. So I think they've got to go in there and make sure that this isn't a distraction. They also know that once the grumbling starts, it becomes a slippery slope and it's hard to stop the fall. But I think you need to sit some guys down and say, hey, look, we're still hoping to be a playoff team this year. We need you guys to be bought in with what we're doing. Come on, let's get on board.
2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12. To throw, it's Lance. And he's going to go down. They sack him back right around the 30. The sack by Jordan Willis.
Boy, Charles, that time he took a bad situation and made it worse.
Yeah, you're almost putting together a nice little song there, aren't you? Because it's something you'll see from young quarterbacks. They have that tendency to retreat backwards instead of stepping up in the pocket.
Now after the sack, Lance and the Niners staring up here at a 3rd and long.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And that incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position. When that drive started, they had 6 points that they were thinking about.
And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. So that, Charles, a season long right there.
And you know who's really excited about that? The special teams coordinator, because he's the one who has to tell the head coach in pregame, this is where we trust him from. This distance, he can hit it, and he repaid that trust by knocking that one right through.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. They threw an interception the first time they had the football, only gave up 3 points off of that, so it shouldn't be a difficult hole to overcome.
It really shouldn't, as long as they're not listening to the chatter coming from the other side, because when you throw a pick, look, I know defensive backs, they have a tendency to be a little bit loud after they take one away. But they also have a tendency to gamble a little bit more, thinking they'll get a second one. Maybe they can take advantage of that with some double moves.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6.
Mike 54. Mike 54. Hey, check. Bang, bang. Watch out.
A shotgun snap, Fields. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Now the 49ers going to take another timeout. And that's their 2nd charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's Fields. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
That looks like it's going to be 2 empty possessions now to start this football game. I think they're going to have to sit down and talk about what worked for them last week in their win. Sometimes you over-game plan, overthink things, get back to what works.
And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking, because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense.
Yeah,
run what you do
best. On the gas.
Exactly. Put it all the way down and try and increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
They'll start on the ground here with Nwangu. And he is out up around the 15-yard line. Give him 10 yards on the pickup, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
And he'll be a couple yards shy of the 20 at the 18. They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Second and inches is oftentimes an invitation for an offense coordinator to take a big shot downfield because he feels like he can come back on third down and pick up the first down. But sometimes you just don't want to break tendency. Stay with what you are, stay with who you know, and go get the first down. That's exactly what they did.
Lance now on first down.
And he's taken down. Back in his own 7. Michael Kendricks coming in to drop him.
Well, here's where having mobility sometimes can work against you as a quarterback. He thinks he can retreat and outrun the pressure. But that time, they zeroed in on him and took him down for a big loss, partner.
A really big loss.
Throwing on second and long. Lance taking a shot for Samuel. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down.
Throwing now is Lance.
He's going to let it go again. And able to catch it on the left sideline, but they're going to rule him out of bounds. So it'll be incomplete. Certainly one they'd like to have back as it brings up fourth down. Here comes the 49ers punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. Football. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they'll take over inside the 45 at the 44-yard line. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
And they fake the handoff. Now Lance. He'll check that down to Nwangu out of the backfield.
And he'll be out just a yard or two shy of the 30. Rookie quarterback, rookie running back. They team up there to pick up the first. Nwangu going to get it on the counter. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's second and a couple.
Now Lance.
And that'll be incomplete.
Charles, he doesn't seem to be particularly in tune with his receivers, just 2 for 7 throwing the football, but he did seem really locked in before the game.
Yeah, and that has to do with receivers sometimes. Sometimes the defenders knock them off their routes, and you're usually pretty precise. 1, 2, 3 cut, balls out of his hands to the receiver. In this case, might be off by a half step either way. They've got to find a way to get back in sync.
Handoff here to Nwangu.
And he's got the first, but we also have a flag on the field. And they're already walking backwards.
They get Pro Bowl tackle Trent Williams for the infraction there.
So following the holding call, what can they do here on third and long?
Working from the gun, Lance.
And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. That one good for 12 yards, and that's going to make it fourth down. Kyle Shanahan's made the decision. They're going on 4th down. Lance going to sneak it, and he will have the first down across the 20 to the 19-yard line. They only got a couple, but a couple's all that they needed as they convert on 4th. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. Forced out to his left. And he'll be out of bounds, taking it just shy of the 10 at the 11 or the 12. Call it a pickup of 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. 2nd quarter, 2 minutes remain, 3-0 our score. On 2nd down, here's Nwangu. And this won't be enough to pick up the first. A gain of 2, 3rd and 1.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
This will be play number 7 on the drive. 3rd and a yard. On the give is Nwangu. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. They'll run for it. It's Nwangu. And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Kene Nwangu. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the 49ers add 6 to their lead. So a big decision there to go on 4th down. Gets them not only the first, but... And now before the ball changes hands, they're going to take a look at this just to make sure that they have it right. The thing that they'll be looking at is a spot of the football, and this is always such a tough one for officials to get exactly right.
Not just because of how fast the game's going, but just trying to get the right sight line to the football. That's not always easy. We'll see what they decide here.
They'll look to run with Nwangu. And across the chalk, into the end zone. It's a 49er touchdown. Kene Nwangu. His 11th touchdown of the year. And the 49ers add on to their lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good. And the lead grows to 10-0. Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And with him down 2 scores, you wonder if they might try and put something together, even if it's just to get into field goal range.
Come on. Switch.
Play action. It's Fields. Trying to lay one up deep. And this is caught right along the sideline. What a job of keeping the toes in bounds there. And give them a gain of 37.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
Check 49. Check 49. Check 50.
To throw is Fields.
He's going to try and go deep again. And this is caught on the sideline. But no, they'll say out of bounds. He caught it but was not in bounds. Incomplete.
Similar to a shooter in basketball, just connected on the previous shot. They run another set for him on the next play. Now, we had a guy who made the catch. They tried to get the big one downfield, but came up empty.
You better be afraid of me. Hey, check Mike 27. Check Mike 27. Let's go, D. Wide. Get wide. He's coming. We got double up. 36.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Fields. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And it'll be intercepted. Picked by Tarvarius Moore. And the 49ers are going to take possession here. It's a touchback, and they'll take over at the 20-yard line. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway.
And with a 2-score lead already, they may just look to get this thing to the locker room.
Mike 22 is coming. 22 is coming.
Play action. Now it's Lance. Drops this off with Nwangu.
And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds.
Defensively, they came into the game with the understanding they're going to have to slow him down on passes just like this because he was over 100 yards receiving a week ago. And you know they want to get him involved here as well.
A good passing down here, and they send 3 receivers to the right of the formation on 2nd down.
Mike 22 is coming. 22 is coming. Mike. Give me that ball. Green Jack. Check safety. Yellow, blue. Snap, red. 22. Are you getting the head?
Here's Lance.
He's going to air one out. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
Certainly no lack of aggressiveness here. They were hoping for the home run play to get them 6 points. They're hoping for a catch, maybe a call, but they figure they can at least get into field goal range with a completion.
And you see the clock almost empty, so this is likely the last play in the 2nd quarter.
A final shot before half for Lance. Winds up and lets it go for Samuel. And a high throw there as this is knocked away, down to the ground and incomplete.
So we are at halftime here on Halloween. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Coach, thanks very much. Fine work as always as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
Santos out now. He'll kick it away. On the return, it's Tariq Cohen. Now a crease here as he's past the 30. And a great return up past the 40. But this one may not stand. So that will push him back.
And now we know why he had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back, that penalty will move them back.
So from inside the 20, here's 1st and 10 at the 18. On the run is Nwangu.
And he'll lose yardage here. Back to the 15. The Georgia man, Roquan Smith, came in and got it.
I think it's pretty evident we can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. On play action, Lance. Open target here, Darius Slayton. And he'll be out right at the 35. A gain there of 21 yards.
And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
That's a really nice, tough run inside, and they gained 5 yards on it. And to be frank about it, most offenses don't expect to get 5 yards on a play call like that. So when they do, they go back to their huddle with a little pep in their steps. They're starting to think that they're starting to dominate the line of scrimmage.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Another run now for Nwangu. And he will be brought down at about the 43 that time.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
The Bears bring out an extra defender in the secondary now for third down. Here's Lance to throw it. And this is going to be incomplete.
We've seen these defenses make enough opportunistic plays to keep this one low scoring. Flying around, making plays on the ball, and we see yet another errant throw as a result.
Here comes the 49ers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the second time. "51 yards on the punt there. And it'll be 1st and 10 Bears from deep in their own territory. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And their defense did its job by forcing the punt to start things out. And now, Charles, can the offense get in gear?
I think, partner, you can sense them saying, okay, the first half was theirs, but now let's get the momentum back on our side. We forced a punt. Now let's go downfield and score. If we do that, we'll be set up well for this second half.
They'll give him a yard on the play, and it's a second down.
At the 13-yard line.
Let's go, defense. Here we go. Switch. Tighten up.
They'll stay on the ground with Mostert. And he'll take this one only up to about his 13-yard line. 2 runs in a row, but only 2 yards to show for it.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
A third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Now it's Fields. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off near the 26. And they're going to be set up in the red zone at the 15. That time defensively looked like they showed quite a bit of pressure but backed off, and it proved fruitful. They get the pick.
He went through all of his rules about getting rid of the ball quickly because he read blitz. He saw all those people stacked at the line of scrimmage, and then they fooled him by dropping into coverage. Now he's ready to get rid of the ball fast, but guess what? Too many defenders out there. Exactly as you described, an interception.
On first down, they'll run with Nwangu.
And this play gets blown up. They'll lose yardage. Back at the 17. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
It always helps when you get great run support from your safeties, and when you get one who can actually read the play and get upfield and shut it down before it gets going, that's exactly what you're looking for.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12.
Lance looking to throw it.
And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Kene Nwangu. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Niners take advantage of field position on the turnover to cash this one in.
Extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that makes our score 17-0.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown.
And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
On second down, Mostert.
And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Fields.
Escaping the pressure right. Now he'll go deep down the middle. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Tarvarius Moore.
And the Niners are going to get the football here as he gets this up to the 38-yard line.
A young quarterback, Charles, rolling to his right. I know he's right-handed, but is that one that maybe a veteran sticks in his pocket?
I think so, but you have to remember with young quarterbacks, it may take a few years before they get all the stuff out of them that they did earlier in their career or even in their college days when they were used to being dominant. In this case, the NFL veteran defense ended up winning the battle.
Off of play action, here's Lance.
And he will find his man, Samuel. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. A good pickup there, 26 yards.
First down, San Francisco.
So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 36.
And Lance now to throw.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offensive coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he could be a big-time playmaker for us.
Now a play fake. Lance. And that almost their first INT of the ball game. Had his sights on it, but he couldn't seal the deal.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress, and I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
So now 3rd and 10. A big play to start the drive, but nothing since.
Lance looks to throw again.
And incomplete on the deep ball.
Oftentimes when you're losing a game and the team's still throwing with this kind of a lead, you start playing a little more physically. And they took that opportunity right there to be extremely physical and force that incompletion.
And he's going to miss this one. Wide to the left from distance. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So an empty possession there. What do you think went wrong, Charles?
Well, it looked like maybe the plant leg might have given way just a little. And when that happens, guys have a tendency to pull through the ball to compensate. And in doing so, sent this one off target.
At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Second down. Here's Mostert again. Fights off the defender. And still about 3 yards shy of a first as the 4-yard pickup brings it to 3rd down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Off play action, Fields.
He's going to go for a big play downfield.
And he's got Mooney in the end zone. Touchdown, Chicago. Well, CD, when you combine accuracy with a big arm, you get throws like that. And Justin Fields may very well be making these kinds of plays at the pro level for years to come.
Santos with the extra point, and the lead is trimmed down to 10. After the touchdown, here's Santos to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The 49er offense set to get this drive underway. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. Now it's Nwangu. Busts through the tackle. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down. I'm guessing you'd say this is kind of the key here. Grind out some yardage, work on that clock, see if you can continue to tick it down.
Definitely. You want to bleed things out at this point, right? Continue to possess the football, gain some yardage, and put the onus on the defense. Do they have to use timeouts? What are they going to do to stop you? You're taking charge.
From the 44,
Lance.
And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
Well, listen, when you've got the lead, there's absolutely no sense trying to fit a ball in where you shouldn't. You can see the coaching in his head taking place on that play because he saw he had a receiver in the area and just put it well over his head out of harm's way.
From the gun on third down, Lance. They'll get this to Nwangu.
And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. Give him 12 yards on that one. It earns him a fresh set of downs. So into Bear territory now. This is 1st and 10 at the 44-yard line.
To throw, it's Lance.
That is caught by Cohen. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. They're down here in the 4th, and that personal foul penalty is not going to help.
No, in these types of situations, players will tell you that's extra intensity. From where we sit, it's actually frustration. Not a good play.
So now a fresh set of downs. 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
The Lance going to throw.
Throwing the out route, incomplete. It's Cohen. And he's able to get this down to the 5-yard line before he's out of bounds. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and that'll make it 2nd down. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he's going to get him about 3 yards closer. He's down to about the 2. He's hit pay dirt a lot this year, but not that time.
Yeah, I'm tracking right there with you. You're exactly right. He's found the end zone plenty of times. No way I can find any fault with the call. He may not have scored there, but of course you're going to give it to him.
They'll go right back to Nwangu.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a San Francisco touchdown.
Kene Nwangu
with his 3rd touchdown so far, number 13 now on the year.
And the Niners look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown.
Jakeem Grant now to return. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line.
The Bears take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
The Bears offense ready to go for their next drive.
Their mini 2-game win streak appears it might be going by the wayside unless they can pull a rabbit out of their hat.
In trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. Nick Bosa able to record his 5th sack of the season. So after the sack, a scenario you certainly don't work on too often. 2nd and 24. Another try after the first down sack.
Fields. And this will be caught by Mooney.
Now the ball comes loose. And now this is scooped up by the 49ers. And they have the football and will take over at the 24-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Following the fumble recovery, Lance. This is caught. Touchdown 49ers. George Kittle, his 3rd touchdown now on the year.
And the 49ers could be on their way to a 5-2 start as they add on to their lead. The extra point by Sly is up and good.
And the lead is now 24.
Niners 31, Bears 7.
Here is Wisnowski to boot it away following the touchdown.
Here comes Grant on the return. And he'll be out of bounds here just past the 20-yard line. At the line, prepping for their next drive, the Bears offense.
Well, I think that the folks here had hoped that maybe this home atmosphere would carry their guys to a surprise victory, but it does not appear that that's going to be the case. Just too much to handle on the other side in this one.
And here he's got Grant. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. 25 yards that time.
First and 10 at the 46-yard line.
On play action, Fields. Nowhere for Fields to turn, and down he goes.
Eddie Goldman, what an effort from him on that play. Big tackle for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21. Another try after the first down sack.
Fields.
Flushed out, under pressure again, and down he goes again. Eddie Goldman picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
He's going to let it fly. It's caught inside the 25. And he gets it down deep into San Francisco territory.
Well, partner, that's how you make a long drive suddenly not so long anymore. One big play, and they're already in field goal